So, welcome to Christian Wildfood and Bushcraft. We are in Devon, visiting my family back home. Yes, I am from Devon, although I lived in the southeast for a long time now, hence why my accent's changed. Just walking down towards Tumbling Fields in Tiverton, where we parked. But I expect over the next few days I'm going to try to get some really nice videos. Tomorrow off to Dulverton in Somerset, where one of my adventuring heroes, Ranulph Fiennes, lives. I doubt we'll get to see him. I just got his book though. And we are going to have a little adventure canoeing on the river and see if we can show you some trout. I don't think we'll catch any, but we'll try. We'll make sure to have a lovely adventure as we walk down Tumbling Fields in Tiverton. But yeah, check out what comes next. Well, here I am on a lovely swing chair in my great auntie's garden. So this is going to turn more into a full length or feature length for my channel video about our adventures in Devon and Somerset on this week-long holiday. But I just wanted to mention, I was reading in a devotional by Angus Buck and I really enjoy, called The Bible in 366 Days for Men. And today's reading, which is April the 22nd, he mentioned Psalm 66, that God will keep our footing sure. It makes me think of mountain goats. You see the beautiful white ones from North America, or ones elsewhere in the world, where they're so deft on those rocks where they can walk across what seems like a sheer cliff face at times, because God has designed them with that ability, and He's able to keep us. In the same way, for stumbling, sometimes we feel like we're scrabbling up a steep precipice, but if He's with us, we will not stumble, and He is with us. So we can be assured today we can keep on going, and I'm looking forward to today, to visiting Dulverton. I've just heard word that Sir Ranulph Fiennes is not around. He's filming in Canada for a few weeks, because I was hoping to get a chat with him, and that would have been something amazing for the channel, but perhaps another time. But we're going to have a great time. Going to get the canoe out, try some trout fishing, see what other wild food and bushcraft activities and outdoor ventures we can come up with. But I hope you enjoy the rest of the vlog of my time down in Devon and Somerset. See you in the next bit. See the little house martin poking its head out. Where is it? Don't know if I can get that.
One on the other nest as well.
Under the eaves. A bit dark looking up.
Did you just see the man escape?
So here we are at the River Barle, crystal clear in Dulverton. Gonna go out in the water and see if there's anything in there. Hopefully a nice big fat trout waiting to bite, but there's a few kids in the water, and probably the wrong side of the bridge for where fish like to sit. They like to be on the other side waiting for the food to flow down to them. But we'll get the rod out, see if there's anything worth trying to fish for in the beautiful River Barle at Dulverton. Okay, I don't know how clear this is through my waterproof case, but we're out in the river now. It is crystal clear. Last year I did snorkeling here. It's absolutely freezing, so you don't want to do that without a dry suit, to be honest. It's very, very cold, and bottom of my shorts are probably going to get wet. Anyway, my son was supposed to come with me, but I don't think he'll get across this deep water without carrying him, and that's if you can hear me through this case. Let's try and go underwater. Just in case you couldn't hear a thing I said, I'm in the river now. My son Isaiah. River Barle, crystal clear, and trying to find a spot where a nice fat trout might hang out. Hi, so there's some big trout, well, fairly big trout here, so I'm just about to go down the river, and cast some bread in and see what happens. But you know, when you go to the seaside and you see those people with their feet in a box, see-through box with minnows nibbling at their toes, well, I'm getting that for free because the minnows are nibbling at my legs right now. It's very tickly. I'm trying to get this bread on, and I'm trying to cast in and see if we can get a trout very quickly. Oh, they're so tickly. Come to Dulverton, it's free trout minnow manicures on your legs or whatever, legicure. Look at them, there must be 100 of them nibbling me. Accidentally caught a minnow, so there we go, there's a catch. Poor little fella, let's release him. Oh dear, hooked him through the belly. I hope he'll survive. Nasty wound. Okay, hope he'll survive that. Look at that beautiful brown trout just sitting in the water there. Hopefully we can get the rod out later and have a go at him. Well, we're down in Dawlish Warren today. Or Dawlish actually, Warren's around the corner. And look at that trout. There's minnows everywhere and some nice big adult trout around the place. We found Jaws. Where is he? Some big trout here, and the biggest one there he is. Can you see Jaws? Beautiful, huge brown trout swimming around. Here we are at Dawlish Beach. I'm going to see if we can get some seafood. First, I'm going to see if we can have I can have a snorkel in there. Not sure I'm going to take my phone because I don't know that my case is completely waterproof. So for now, I'm just gonna do some videoing from here and catch you again when we look for some seafood. Film your legs.
Daddy, is that waterproof?
Hopefully. It's time to have a forage and see if we have any seafood. Well, there's a mussel shell. What do you think we'll get, Nini? Oh, what's that pretty stone there? What's that? It's greeny colour. Let's see if there's anything to be found. Oh, this is nice where the fresh water runs in. Got some seaweed, kelp. The green, is that? I'm not sure what the green is. It's sea lettuce. Not the best at seaweed, I need to study it. What we are looking for is I'm not sure if this is the place. It's not muddy enough for cockles. Not quite the environment for razor clams, unless the tide was out possibly, but again it's not very estuarine here, so we'll see what we can find. Okay, film this here, Nini. Here's a limpet, so you need a rock and then you need to give him a bash and he will, well, he's clamped down. Now that one is actually in an awkward spot, so it's probably going to be hard to bash him off without hurting my fingers, so we're going to leave him. Can you see any more big ones?
There's one over there.
Oh, there we go. Let's get him off. Ready? Give him a bash. There we go, and he's off. There's the limpet. That one's going in the bag for the pot tonight. Okay, we've got some interesting thing, or an interesting thing here. That there's the carapace of a spider crab. It's really spiky. Underneath it is absolutely beautiful. Anything, so that's going to go in the bag with some seaweed samples. That, oh, that's globby. That could be the remains of a jellyfish. And family's back that way. Let's carry on. That means the spider crab's out there. I didn't see any snorkeling. To report on my snorkeling, I was not able to film it, but saw what looked like a fairly good-sized mullet and some shoals of, I'm trying to remember what they're called. They are a lovely greeny colour on top and light underneath. I did check the reference books to know what they are. I'll have to come back with you. I'll put it on the screen and tell you what it is, what I saw in shoals. But if I wasn't able to get it on camera. Well, just videoing this because you can see there's some barnacles, some very small little limpets. They are too small for us to take. And what my daughter identified is little tiny baby mussels. The rock is covered in them. There's more, but we're looking for the oh, there's a bigger limpet. We're looking for the need a rock to bash him off. We're looking for the big kind. Trying to get a quick video. There's a greater black-backed gull there. He's so big, he's dwarfing the herring gulls. Can you see him there? Let's get as close as we can before he flies. There we go. See him there? Greater black-backed gull. Lovely to see. Oh, the young herring gull's still begging for food from the parent. Lovely day out in Dawlish. There's a big mussel shell. We have whelks, limpets and some small mussels and a scallop shell, but no live scallops. So yeah, it's been a wonderful time. There's the sea behind me, the sea at Dawlish on the South Devon coast. All the way, I don't know if you can see the red sandstone cliffs and the beautiful Devon countryside that way. So as I was saying, we got some seafood. I'm sorry I couldn't video everything because, well, looking after kids and stuff and not trying to bother my mum and dad too much, it can be hard to do wild food videos, but you should see something of what we did to forage the limpets at least, and when we get them back to the kitchen. Alright, see you in a minute. Well, here's the spoil of the day. We've got some dog whelks, some limpets, some small mussels. Oh, and the carapace of a spider crab. I don't know if I showed this, but it's very beautiful on the inside. And probably tomorrow I'm going to have a go at cooking those. Hi. There has not been much time to stop and do any form of scriptural lesson, as we have been to the rivers and beaches of Devon and Somerset. But quickly to ponder on Psalms 139, where it says, I was fearfully and wonderfully made. All my members were written in your book, says another verse, because we need to learn to handle obscurity. You know, we're not all going to be Billy Graham. We're not all going to be Reinhard Bonnke. We're not all going to be famous preachers or famous singers. We're not all going to be Casting Crowns or any other famous band that you can think of. Most of us are simply going to serve the Lord in quietness, maybe on our lounger in Devon. Some of us older and not so mobile. But what I'd like to say is that we all have an audience with the King. He knew us before we were formed in our mother's womb. He knows everything about us. So whether we stand before thousands of people to testify of Christ, or whether we never do, and our witness is very personal, very one-to-one, or simply somebody who might not even be able to get about it and can just pray and intercede for the will of God, I would say today that you have an audience with the King, that you have an intimate, constant audience with the living God, and that outweighs standing before 3 million people any day. The thing is, every single believer, we can live in obscurity, relative obscurity in terms of this world. It doesn't matter who sees us, because we have an audience with the living God at all times up there. So therefore, we have the biggest audience possible. Every single one of us, from new converts to people that have been saved for 50 years, from young to old, every one of us is watched by the King of all kings, Jesus Christ, every single day. Therefore, we are really not obscure. That's why we can handle it, because we have an audience with the King. So I just wanted to bless you with that. Even my little videos, no matter if 2 people watch them or 10,000, I know the King is watching, and I'm doing it for his glory. Amen. Okay, so we have the limpets from yesterday. They've been sitting in some salted water to keep them going. What I'm going to do is give them a bit of a scrub, just to clean them up, before boiling them in water for, you can see me, 5 minutes. And after that, giving them a bit of a hit with a rolling pin to tenderize, and then frying them in butter, and apparently that is going to make them delicious. So make sure you clean them very good. You know, in all these years of collecting wild food, I never realized that limpets were a snail until I got them home yesterday, and I saw their little snaily face looking at me, and it's kind of cute. I felt a bit bad, but not so bad I won't enjoy some delicious seafood. So yep, make sure you scrub them up well and boil in water for 5 minutes. Okay, we're going to do a limpet taste test. Boiled for 5 minutes, scrubbed off first, and then fried in butter. Lord bless this in Jesus' name. It was very chewy. Salty, sea flavoured. It's alright, it's like a very chewy mussel, similar flavour. Let's try one more. Take the little fella. Kind of is like chewing gum, but sea flavour. Not too bad, I'll eat them again. There they are flying around. The swallows that live in the entrance to the church. Aren't they beautiful? Look at them, they're like bats, they're so fast. That's gorgeous to see. And soon they'll be flying back, probably to Africa. So the wife and kids are learning how I grew up, walking up really steep hills. We called this Strawberry Lane growing up. It's not the real name of it, but nice little rose hips. There used to be wild strawberries growing up here. I've not seen any. Probably should have asked family whether they're still here, because I can't see. I can see an overgrowth of hazel. Cannot see. We'll let you know if we find them. So we're starting to find the leaves, the wild strawberry plants. Oh, there's some old ones. Oh, they're no good. But that's good. We're seeing the strawberry plants. We're not seeing any strawberries on them. So I cannot remember the kind of timing with the seasons of these wild ones. It might be that they come out a little earlier than the commercial variety. So when I was a kid, these trees were just little things. Had a couple of apples on, but 20 years later they're covered in apples in this community orchard in the village where I grew up. So me and Isaiah are picking some. So we'll show you what we've got. It's not really wild food, but it's out in the fields. There's lots of varieties of delicious apples for pies and to eat. So the way to tell if an apple's ripe is just put your hand, give it a slight twist, see that one's not ripe. And if it's ripe, if it's ready to come, it will just fall off in your hand. And that's why, there we go. That one came right off. It's the reason there's so many on the floor. That tree over there, there's kilos of apples that are just rotting. And I mean, there's too many for the wasps to eat. It's because no one's taken them. So we will oblige us people now from the southeast that don't get these amazing orchards. Put that one in the bag, please, carefully.
That was huge.
Yeah, we don't mind. It doesn't matter. Scratches don't matter. This isn't the supermarket, so look at that apple. That one's not quite right. Oh, just a little bit of a twist, but look at the size of that. Okay, put that.
There's a really red one right on the floor.
It's okay. We don't need.
So
We don't need. Yeah, it's okay. We don't need to take the ones on the floor. I'm trying to teach him because of the abundance. Beautiful orchard in Devon.